Hello, welcome to another video, and today we're looking at something new that's been announced. We kind of knew something was coming from Valve, who obviously give us Steam, and they won't give us Half-Life 2 Episode 3. Curses on them. But they're giving us a Steamdeck, so a handheld console unit, and it's a bit bizarre. It kind of looks like, where did this thing come from in terms of that design? It's kind of like the Homer in The Simpsons, when Homer's asked to design his very own car, and he ends up designing this thing that looks attractive to him, but is quite a thing. But anyway, so I put on the title. Did you get the Steam Deck from Valve, or did you get the Intellivision Amico? You might be thinking, Dominic, why have you been taking the yellow Bentines again? What on earth are you talking about? The Intellivision Amico, obviously, it's not intended to go up against the likes of the Switch, even though it's going to be around about the same price. And this is obviously a little bit more than the Switch, because the Switch is, well, the Amico's around about £250, or is it about sort of is it $270 in America? I'm not quite sure, but it might be $250. Whereas the Nintendo Switch is around about £280, something like that, so about $300 in America. Why don't we get it so much cheaper? I don't know. And the Steam Deck, there's three basic prices, but the cheapest one is $400 in the US, which is £349 in the UK. So the reason I sort of draw a comparison and a parallel with the pricing is because, well, quite frankly, if you import and this is probably what's going to kill off my pre-order. Once I didn't realise this at first when I did make the pre-order. The original price, obviously, I think it's around about $250, something like that, for the Founders Edition. And once you import that, you can end up spending around about sort of £80 on top of that in import charges. It's not cheap, and it's not what I was expecting. So that's going to take you close to around about £330, something like that, or £300 to £330 once you factor in a bit of, what's the word? Conversion of price. That price conversion. Duh. It's late as I'm doing this. And then this is £349. So yeah, the price is just way too similar. And obviously, I mean, as we sort of, it does look very nice with all the buttons and that kind of thing. But as we sort of scroll down a bit, this is someone playing Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I forget exactly what the title is, but obviously it's that game from the end of 2019. I think it came out. So I've not played it. It looks pretty cool, but apparently this on here it says actual gameplay running on prototype hardware. So obviously, if you bought this and you found that was not the performance you were getting, you can always return it for a refund, So they have to deliver on the promise. But, yeah, I mean, I know Amico are not trying to compete with the likes of these kind of things, but, yeah, you obviously get a lot more for your money with this. And since this can apparently also run Windows on it, you could, doubtless, you could run an emulator on there to play the same kind of games that the Amico is running, plus all your Steam library. It does make you wonder, since this is a specific specification, PCs can be upgraded over time, but this is a specific configuration. What's to say that a game comes out that doesn't run quite as well on it? So you can spend £350 and find that a game that comes out in 6 months' time just isn't really running as well as it could. But anyway, let's just get into what you get from it. But it says it runs the latest AAA games and runs them really well. It says it's comfortable with full fidelity controls, long play sessions, no compromises. So it looks like it's meant to be good. Meant to work well with your fingers and your thumbs and all that kind of palaver. So there's versatile. You can connect to peripherals, throw the picture onto the big screen. That'd be good, and do all the other things with a PC that you'd expect. And then it also shows putting SD cards into it and so on. We'll come to that in a little bit anyway, because there's various prices based on what you actually get with it. So you log in with your Steam library, and that'll already be on your deck, so that's good. What I will say is, if you've not already done it, enable two-factor authentication on your Steam account. Just make sure you do that, because I once got my Steam account hacked, and it took about 2 days to get it back. But after that, I enabled the 2FA, two-factor authentication. So basically, I've got Steam installed, well, the Steam app on my phone. So when I log into Steam anywhere, whether it's on the PC or on the browser or whatever, I then got to go into the app and the Steam guard, and it'll give me like a code, which I've then got to enter on the PC or wherever I'm logging into. And it the code changes like every few seconds. So you've got to type it in damn quick. Maybe about every 10-15 seconds, but you have to type it in quick before it changes over. But yeah, just make sure you do that. That's well recommended. So according to this, easy as power on, sign in and play your Steam games. Or, hopefully, since you'll be logging in, hopefully it'll just auto sign in for you like it does on the PC. Unless obviously the browser's a bit funny. And this is showing actual gameplay again. So not quite sure. Presumably, yeah, those must be touch pads. But I never thought would I need a handheld again, but when I've got a PS Vita, which quite frankly, and it shames me, I've never really played much with it. I've got a few issues that I've not managed to resolve. I basically installed some games on it, uninstalled the games, and for some reason the space was still taken up on the device, on the card. Someone gave me the answer to resolve that quite some time ago, let's say. I'm embarrassed to say how long ago that was, and I've still not got around to doing it. Oceans of time have passed, and my PS Vita is still sat on my table next to me, and I've still not got around to doing it. It's embarrassing, but yeah, life gets in the way. What can I say? But anyway, back to this. And so Steam without compromises, interesting to see. I'm interested just to buy it, just to test it out, just to see what kind of without compromise you get. I mean, this is showing a clip from Control, which a game I've not played, but I understand looks really good with RTX. The RTX ray tracing, if you can get a graphics card with that on it. Whether that works with this, I don't know. That will be interesting. But yeah, quite how does it run the games really well? How well in the specifications will it be? How beefy will it be in terms of what it can do? Are you going to end up buying this? And if you've managed to get a PC with a ray tracing card, an RTX 3080 or around about that, are you still going to need this console, or are you going to this handheld, or are you going to buy the handheld and realize that it's just still not up to a par with what you would expect from a PC? Well, I'm quite sure these seem limited in terms of how much, how many you can buy. So maybe the scalpers won't be able to get their hands on them, and then you might be able to sell it on for a tidy profit. But looking at the prices, there's 3 storage options. There's no in-game difference in frame rates or graphics quality between the 3 models. So the basic model is £349, 64 gigabytes of internal storage and a carrying case. Fine. But then now the £459 version, so under the £110, it's not only is it 256 gigabytes, but it's an SSD storage. Now, given that I run most of my games off a regular hard drive, I don't need SSD for that, quite frankly. I mean, it's nice. It's nice to load in the games, quickly on the SSD that's in my PS5, but I don't. I'm not desperate for it to have that on the PC, and so it gives you 256, gigabytes. But as it says, and we'll get to it later, it'll come up later. You can just plug in an SD card anyway with the storage with some of the games, extra games installed on it, or space to download the games onto, basically to install the games. So I don't think the SSD is as essential as they say it would be. So I think the £349 plus an SD card if I need it, that'll do for me. But the more expensive version, 512 gigabytes, also gives you a premium anti-glare etched glass. So yeah, that's interesting. So it'd be interesting to sort of hear more about that. But then there's other stuff, exclusive carrying case, like the middle version, the exclusive Steam Community Profile Bundle. What does that mean? Pardon my French. Pardon my burp. Exclusive virtual keyboard thing. You're sort of paying for stuff you don't really need. Basically, what I can grasp from that anyway. And then what else we got? Speeds. Yeah, so we've got to the bottom of this page, and that's just actually we will go into the tech specs at this point because it's whether this will look good on if you're watching this on a phone, I don't know. But can I just zoom that in perhaps? So we've got D-pad on the left, the A, B, X, Y buttons on the right, options and other sort of things. Left and right thumbsticks, that's good. Do we need them right up the top there? I don't know. I tend to sort of have, like my sort of Xbox controller, have it sort of, how's my PS5 controller? I don't know. I mean, the Xbox controller, which I'm looking at, has the left thumb, top left, and the right thumbstick is sort of bottom right. It's a bit odd, but it works. And yet the PS5 controller is like the PS4 one, they're sort of in the middle. So the middle of the area, which is pretty much in a way where your trackpad is. But a 7-inch touchscreen, that's really nice. Microphone, fine. Speakers, fine. Steam button, whatever that does, who knows. But the important things, the thumbsticks, hopefully they're good, they're well positioned. Again, if you buy one and it doesn't really work out for you, you can always sell it easily, I'm sure, and I say make a tiny profit on it, because they do seem to be making it not too easy to buy more than one. But I'll come to that page in a minute. But there's the buttons, headphone jack, fan, Type-C port. Yeah, I know that's the main thing these days. I suppose you may as well go for that. Most sort of things. I've got like I'm not quite kind of sure which type of USB port whatever an Android phone uses. Those tend to be the kind of USB cables I've got the most of, and I've got a Type-C converter, which will then, for example, recharge my PS5 controller. So I could use that with this, also for charging it up, I'm sure. Yeah, so we just input the micro SD card slot there. Oh, extra buttons on the back, that's nice. So we've got the left L1, L2, R1, R2, and then buttons on the back. Nice, I like that. Now, I don't pretend to know exactly what all these specifications mean. Some people will know better than me. 16 gigabytes of RAM sounds perfectly fine to me, but I know of DDR5 RAM, or I think my PC's got DDR4. Whatever LP is, laptop version, I don't know. But these things tend to have custom chips inside them, so that they'll maximize whatever the unit's supposed to do for the betterment of what you want them to do. And just going down to the storage bit there, so you got the three options there. Where it has the SSD, I wonder if even if you just buy the, I don't know if this is the case, even if you just buy the 64 gigabyte unit, can you then install an SSD yourself? That'd be interesting. Whether you can or not, I don't know. Maybe those have got certain. So the games themselves run on the same, specification wise, they'll all play the same games, but one has a Gen 2 slot for the storage, the other one's a Gen 3. So yeah, maybe maybe somebody, it looks like there's a bit of a disparity there between the two, in terms of the cheapest one and the other two. The other two have the PCI Gen 3. But does that mean you could buy the middle one and then expand to get expand yourself? You could open it up to swap it over with a 512 gigabyte. Could you even install a bigger one? Who knows? I don't know. I doubt I'd need an SSD, quite frankly. Just as I say, I run games off a regular hard drive anyway, so I've never had any major issues with that. What else we got on here? So just gives you a bit of information about everything else. You can read that on there. Oh, a gyro thing. So yeah, you can sort of tip it about. I never tend to use that kind of thing anyway. Last time I remember tipping a handheld console was Loco Roco on the PSP, and I didn't tip the unit. I just pressed the left and right trigger buttons, and that worked perfectly fine. Resolution, well, it's really kind of, in a way, 1280 by 720 if you look for 16 by 9 aspect ratio, but this one opens up a little bit more, so it gives you up to 1280 by 800. 16 by 10, why 16 by 10? Pretty much any game I play is 16 by 9. Why 16 by 10? What's all that? Can someone explain that for me? Everything else looks perfectly fine to me. Sensors, an ambient light sensor, is that to sort of make the display easier to see in daylight. Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, that sounds good. Stereo sound, you don't need anything major with little handheld. Dual microphone array. I don't know. When I play stuff off my phone and to my headset, just if I go for a walk or something, I'll just connect via Bluetooth anyway. So I don't really need the headphone jack. I've kind of grown out of that, if you like. So just another bit of information there. So it's about 30 centimeters almost in width. That's big. That's big. That's like basically a ruler size. That's a ruler like you'd have at school. That's you're gonna need to be a bit of a Billy Big Hands, and and also for software, it says SteamOS 3.0. I wonder if that can be upgraded later on. I mean, is it going to be like one of those handhelds that you buy and end up just being stuck with whatever it can do? Like those handhelds which just you can download loads of emulators on after you download Happy Chick, and then you end up with a device that just rapidly ages once you realise it really can't do as much as you'd like it to have done. So, just a quick look at the developers tab. Says your games are going places. But it just means basically that there's no porting required. So developers, they've got no issues. It's supposed to just run straight out the box. On this device, there's another game running there, Hades. I've not played that. RPG, pardon me, it's not quite my thing. Add the deck to your wish list. I will do that. I'm not going to start. It's going to want me to log into my Steam account. I'm not going to faff about with that and potentially show you my password while I'm looking at it. So we just go to software. What else we got on that? Steam Chat. Does anyone use Steam Chat? I don't use Steam Chat. I spent ages downloading a whole Friends thing once, and it just seemed to waste a whole load of space for something I didn't need at all. No good for me. And your Steam library anywhere? Can I put other launchers on it? Can I put the Epic Games library on it? The Ubisoft library? I've got about a handful of games on there which I never remember to use. Same with the EA one. There's some good games in there, but I never get around to playing them because I just always forget. So that's Steam operating system. Oh, it just says you're on Steamdeck. Your games are on a slightly different operating system than on your PC, but it's optimized for the Steam Deck. So as I was saying before, the specifications on the hardware, they will be optimized. It's a bit like a PS5, PS4, or an Xbox. They're not quite like a PC. They're basically optimized so that they'll run on dedicated hardware, basically. And talking about hardware, just go to that tab. That's Swings around nicely, doesn't it? Can I swing that? Oh no, that's no good. Ooh, swing it across. Thumbsticks. Oh, so it's built for extended play sessions. Whether you're using thumbsticks or trackpads, the full-size controls positioned perfectly within your reach. The rear of the device is sculpted to comfortably fit a wide range of hand sizes. So yeah, if you're a really big hands then like me, then you're good to go. Thumbsticks, capacitor, touch sensors built in, etc., etc. Triggers on the back, exactly what you'd expect from a unit these days. Grip buttons. So 4 user assignable buttons on the back of the deck. Put the next level of control right at your fingertips while keeping the thumb firmly planted on the trackpad or stick. So there's a lot going into this. I do like the sound of that. Whether I end up buying it and then not using an awful lot of it, I don't know. But yeah, might be interesting to have a play with. There's a gyro thing you can see. Just move it about and the game moves about with it. How many games actually use that? I doubt it. But it's an option for if you need it. Doom Eternal, that's quite an intensive game, so yeah, it's good if it runs fine on that. And that's pretty much everything we've covered already. Fast suspend and resume. So yeah, sounds like a PS5 where I can just sort of suspend back to the main menu, the base menu, and just change into another game. So yeah, fairly straightforward stuff. Expand your library with a Microsd card. So it says you can install. So it sounds like you put the games on the SD card already, and then you just insert them there. I thought you just sort of download them over Wi-Fi, same as I would download onto my PC, obviously via Ethernet, but download them onto Wi-Fi on here. I don't know. Lots to find out. Use your deck as a PC because it is one. So that'd be interesting. So that's obviously just connecting to a monitor there, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see what it'd be like installing Windows on that thing. And then that just talks about hooking up accessories like the joystick, etc., and then plugging it into a TV. And also a dock as well. That's interesting. So a bit like the what do you call it? The Nintendo Switch. The official dock props up your Steamdeck while connecting to external displays, wired networking, USB peripherals, and power. You can also use a powered USB-C hub if you've got one lying around. Official dock sold separately. Nothing's free these days, so yeah, it'd be interesting. Yeah, spend money on that. Why not? Just yeah. So I'll add that to my wish list. There is one other thing I want to look at though. So this is the Steamdeck page on Steam. As you can see at the top, I'm not logged in. It really does annoy me the fact that I can stay logged into the app on the launcher thing on my PC the whole time without any problems, but the browser keeps logging me out. Facebook doesn't log me out. Twitter doesn't log me out. Why does this thing keep logging me out on here? That's just annoying. Anyway, so it just shows it all swooping around and so on. Then there's just the prices we covered before. Reservations will open Friday, July 16th. So as I'm posting this, that's today at 10 a.m. Pacific time, I think that is. So if I set a reminder, it's going to want me to log in, blah, blah, blah. I'll log in afterwards and set myself a reminder. It is Pacific. I think it's. I'll be honest, I don't really know. That's either going to be 3 p.m. UK time or 6 p.m. I'm not quite sure which. I lose track of all the time frames. And we're in BST at the moment, British Summer Time, and when that changes to GMT, we'll go back an hour as well, just to confuse matters. So we've covered that before, so everything's custom. So yeah, it's a custom chip basically. Looks like a system on a chip or SoC. But says it will deliver more than enough performance to run the latest AAA games. For how long? For how long until another device comes along or another game comes along? Yeah, GTA 6. Maybe that'll come out and just confuse the unit altogether. So yeah, that's the dock again. And then the that's interesting. I don't know what the fee is at the moment. Maybe we don't. Maybe we'll find out later. But there's a reservation fee. It says the main reason for reservations is to ensure an orderly and fair ordering process for customers when the Steam Deck inventory becomes available. The additional fee gives us a clearer signal of intent to purchase, which gives us a better data to balance supply chain, inventory, etc., etc. Do I get to? Is it like a deposit? Maybe this will come up later. Is that? Doesn't seem to. You'd think if that was a deposit, it would say. Yeah, that'd be pretty much quite early on. That yeah, it's not an additional fee on top of the 349. It's you'd think it would be a deposit. Yeah, that's a bit strange of them paying something else. Maybe it'll explain it in a bit. But it looks like once you sort of set things in motion, you can't. You log in. You can't. So hang on. So can't. Reservations open Friday. Why is my account not able to place a reservation until Sunday? We are aware of potential unauthorized resellers, and as an additional safeguard to ensure a fair ordering process, we've added a requirement that the reserver has made a purchase on Steam prior to June 2021 for the first 48 hours of reservation availability. How does the reservation system work? You get put in a queue. Once the inventory is available, you'll be emailed in the order the reservations were made. So it's a bit of a strange system, this. And we'll start sending order invitations by December. We'll make every effort to convert all reservations to orders, but we're not able to guarantee availability, so you might not get one. Can you cancel it? Yes, if you cancel within 30 days, you'll get refunded with whatever payment method you use. May will pay with credit card if you can. Cancel after 30 days, it goes to your Steam wallet. Region, so it's going to be USA, Canada, European Union, and the UK. Other places coming later. How many Steam Decks can I reserve? Just one per customer. So that stops the scalpers. What happens to my reservation fee if I do not order my Steam Deck in time? It'll be refunded in full, and then it goes to your same as before in terms of the refunds. Any restrictions on users? You must be in a valid Steam account must be in a valid country, and you must have made a purchase on Steam prior to June, same as before. Do I need a Steam account to use a Steam Deck? Well, duh. You know, why would you buy this thing if you didn't have a Steam account? Good Lord. Well, if I'm not able to reserve right now, I want to purchase one in the future. Yeah, you're going to have to sort of wait, basically. Reservation queue is regional availability times specific to each region. Can I change which Steam Deck I purchase once I'm able to order? I can only purchase the Steam Deck model you reserved, so make your choice now. Yeah, I'd just go for the cheapest one. So, yeah, I just, I think on a PC, you'd be paying about £100 extra for basically like a 1 terabyte SSD stick. So you're basically paying £110 extra for 256 gigabytes, and another, £220 extra for the 512 gigabytes. So yeah, that's not cost effective. So I'm just going for the cheapest one anyway. Right. This question should have the one at the bottom should have come up at the start. Well, at least the second question. Does the reservation fee count towards my Steam Deck purchase price? Yes. Why didn't you bloody tell us that earlier? So there we go. That's the Steam Deck. Looks interesting. Might buy one just because it's boys' toys, that kind of thing. But yeah, as I say, it's not far off the price of an Amico once you end up importing that and all the import charges and so on. If you don't want to, there is an alternative to importing the Amico, which is to cancel the pre-order, and then once they eventually become, we still don't know about October yet, once they eventually become available in the UK, they'll have a basic retail price of £250. They're at least available at Argos, but in that rather crappy white colour. I don't like that colour, quite frankly. That's why I quite like the wood grain of the Founders Edition. Or the purple one. I quite like the purple one, but that's only GameStop in America. What's the point of that? Why can't you just make these things available everywhere? To whichever to whoever wants which colour. I hate this exclusive crap. But even still, yeah, £350 for this versus £250 for the Amico. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I think we're done with that. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. In the meantime, please like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. Click on the bell for all the notifications, and cue Genesis.